What's up, everybody? Barnaby here, LAF. Let's talk about addressable chase LED backplates. So I've been getting a lot of requests for this. I finally made some time to sit here and play with it, and I got to make a video of how to do this because I know you guys are gonna have questions about how do I hook this up, where do the wires go, how do I set up the controller. So all right, if you order it with a single strip, it's only gonna have one set of wires and it's gonna be really simple. You plug the wires into the controller, you load the app, you follow the next little bit of instructions and you're good to go. If you order it with two strips, you are going to have a bunch of wires and it's not gonna make any sense. So let's work through this. All right, this is the strip that I use, and this is a WS 2812B strip. It has an input and an output. It's not like an RGB strip where you can hook up the wires to both sides. It actually has a direction. You can see DO, digital out. The other side has DI, digital in. So the digital signal comes in one side and goes out the other. The bulbs only face one way. So one input is going to be on one side of the amp. The other input is going to be on the other side of the amp because the bulbs have to face this way, and that's how it works. So what's this extra wire here? This extra wire is going to be the output of the bottom strip that you can hook to the input of the top strip to run them in series. So you can hook these up in series and parallel. I'm not going to go through all the differences, but it can change the pattern, and I haven't quite decided if I like one better than the other. You can play around with it and decide what you like and then cut off the strip you're not going to use, or you know, it's up to you. You got to play around with it. So how to set this up? Let me get the app up and going here. Okay. Right now this is hooked up in parallel, so the input of both strips are connected together to the controller. You open up the app, and what you're going to select is GRB SK6812, and that's going to work with this chipset. And then what you're going to need to do is you're going to need to count the bulbs on the back, flip the back plate over and count the little LED bulbs. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, you get the point. This strip has 39. So I put in one segment and I put in 39 pixel segments, and that's how I'm going to get this to work. And I hit enter, and that takes me into the app. And here I can select all these different programs. They'll do different things. Does cool stuff. You can play around with it and try all the different programs. But I'm going to go back to this program 143 because it kind of gives a good example of what's going on. So we've got red and green going. Pretty cool, right? It does have a music mode, so I can turn this on and it will respond to sound, but it can get saturated pretty easily. There is a gain on there, sensitivity. So, but if you turn your rig up and your demo in full blast, this thing's going to saturate and it's not going to work very well. But turn it down a little bit and it's pretty cool. So go back to effects 143. Again, this is parallel, and I'm going to show you what to do it in series. I'm going to try. So let's set this up right here. And I am going to disconnect the wires. And I'm going to take the input of the bottom strip. Now, I didn't go over this in the beginning of the video. These are 5-volt LEDs. They are not 12-volt LEDs. You hook up 12 volts to these and they are done instantly. No more. They'll never work again. They're very expensive. I can't replace them. The back plate, you can try to pull them out, and if you're successful, good, but I glue them in on one end so that they don't fall out, and so you can try to chip away at it and try to fix it, but the best thing to do is use the 5-volt converter that I'll send with this, and never hook 12 volts directly to this guy right here. You can hook up 5 volts to the, or 12 volts to the converter, and then 5 volts to this, and you're good to go. So, all right, I've got one strip going in, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take the output of the bottom strip to the input of the top strip, and for the video's sake, I'm just going to tie these together. You know, it's up to you to terminate these together. You can wire nut them if you want. You can solder them. I always solder and shrink all my wires. That's the best way to do it. But because there's different options with this, I can't connect these for you. You got to run them out the ends of your amp through the little vent holes and then do what you're going to do. So these are connected. Yeah, I don't know. Can't get that to work. All right, so those are connected. Now, you have to go back into your settings here. Now that they're in series, you have, what is that, 78 bulbs, because you just doubled the length of it. So you have to go back to that, change it to 78. And now you have a completely different pattern. So that was going green, red, and now you can see it's green, red. I don't know which one I like best, so that's why I ship it with the wires like this. You're gonna have to play around with it, decide which one you like. Both of them work fine. Some programs work better in series, some programs work better in parallel. There's just so much to this addressable stuff. It's really hard to, you know, say what you're gonna like best. I don't even know what I like best. So that's why I'm doing this little video here. I hope that answers some questions. Good luck. Send me a message if you need help.